What's up, 10-3s? I hope everybody is staying healthy out there. It was good catching up with a few of you last week on the Google Meets. I hope everyone that couldn't make that is out there doing good. So I figured I'd put together a quick review video here on the unit for earning an income, seeing it's been, almost 3-4 weeks since we had originally started this unit. So I would suggest taking a look at this video and then completing the unit review. And once you've done the unit review, you can then move on to the unit test. So the first thing we talked about in this unit are what are some different ways we can make an income? Well, the first one is an hourly wage, and that's how most people your guys' age are getting paid, right? They get a job at Tim Hortons or McDonald's and they're making minimum wage like $15 an hour. So hourly wage would be like dollars per hour. Salary, right? Some people, once you get to be an adult, you'll be paid on salary. So I'm paid on salary, right? I get a set amount each year, and then that's broke up between my paychecks. Commission is when somebody is usually working in some sort of sales and they're getting a percentage of however much they're selling. So we see this in real estate agents and car salesmen, mostly. We can also have salary or hourly wages plus commission. So maybe, let's say someone that works at La Senza, they're making their hourly wage plus they're making, maybe like 5 or 10% on whatever they help sell in that store. We can also get paid by overtime. So once I've finished, my 40 or 44 hours per the week, I'm then making an overtime wage, which is usually time and a half. Sometimes it's double time. Sometimes we might have incentives. If you sell this many cars, then we'll give you a bonus of $1,000, right? That's an incentive. We could also have incentives in the form of signing bonuses. And so that leads me to bonuses, which might just be like, hey, you did a good job. Here's an extra $500. Or maybe there's some sort of signing bonus when you sign a contract for work. Piecework would be if someone's getting paid per item or per job they are doing. So if I mow lawns, I get paid per lawn that I make. Or if I sell jewelry, I'm getting paid, different amount for a necklace and a different amount for earrings. And we also talked about that some people get paid per views on YouTube. So what are some different pay periods? And you should know these. You can use your formula sheet for the test. All of these are on, or some of these are on there as well. So you can get paid annually once a year. Really, that doesn't happen, but that's how we report salaries is annually. Monthly would be getting paid 12 times a year or once a month. Semi-monthly would be every half a month. So you would get paid 24 times a year. Next one is weekly. Well, there's 52 weeks in a year, so that me getting paid every single week. Me getting paid 52 times a year, or bi-weekly, which is getting paid every 2 weeks or 26 times a year. Just some additional terminology we need to know. The big thing is gross pay. So gross pay is the amount of money you make before deductions, right? When I talk about my salary, I'm saying, I get paid, $64,000. That's my gross pay. The net pay is the amount of money you actually take home, right? How much money do I get when I go home at the end of the day? Okay, so I'm going to go kind of through a few different types of examples, and then we will be done. So, oops, where's my ink tool here? There it is. Okay, so earning an income, looking at hourly. So it says Glenda works as a plumber. She earns $25.90 an hour. If it takes her 21 hours to complete a job, how much will she earn? So if she's making $25.90 an hour, all I'm going to do is times that by how many hours she works. So $25.90 times 21, well, then she'd be making $543.90. And I guess that's important. Maybe she did this on the side, and so that could be what she grosses or nets. If she worked for a company, then they would be taking off, everything for CPP and taxes. All right. Another example here is, so it says Sarah works as a pharmacy technician. She worked 38 hours in 1 week and was paid $728.55. So how much does she make per hour? So now we're reversing this process because we're trying to figure out, what's her hourly wage? That's what we're looking for. So what I need to do is just take her salary of $728.55 and divide that by how many hours she worked. So $728.55 divided by 38. So Sarah is making $19.17 per hour. All right, salary. So let's look at some salary questions. So a dental hygienist salary is $86,778. That doesn't sound right, but whatever. If she gets paid bi-weekly, what is her gross pay? So $86,776, and she's getting paid bi-weekly. So I have to remember what that pay period is. Bi-weekly is 26 times a year. And so I would have to take this number and just divide it by 26. So divide that number by 26. Every 2 weeks or every bi-weekly payment, she would be getting paid $3,337.62. Again, it's important to know that that's going to be her gross pay, not her net pay. Oops. All right, next one. An X-ray technician grosses a month, is paid monthly, and gets $5,562.27. What is her annual salary? Well, what I would do is take how much she gets paid, because this is what she gets paid per month. And I know there are 12 months in a year, so I would take that amount and times that by the 12 months in a year. So take $5,562 and times it by the 27, times that by 12. So her total salary is $66,747.24. So that would be like her salary or her annual gross income. All right, piecework. Just one example here, I think. So close to the top here. This ink function. Ugh. Okay. So Annie is an esthetician working at Lav's nail salon, makes $25 a manicure and $20 a pedicure. In one day, she does 5 manicures and 7 pedicures. So how much is she going to make? Well, I would take 5 manicures and add it to the 7 pedicures to get, how much money she's going to make. So for the manicures, I would take 5 and times that by how much she makes per manicure, which is 25. And 5 times 25 is 125. Plus how much she makes per pedicure. So she does 7 pedicures at $20 per pedicure. So 7 times 20 is going to give me 140. So that would equal, in total, add how much she makes from the manicures and pedicures together, she gets $265. All right, earning an income for commission. So remember, commission is always going to be looking at whatever percentage. I just want the ink. Whatever percentage of sales usually. So it says Charlie's a real estate agent. He gets 3% of his total sales. Last month, he sold a house for $250,000 and another house for $375,000. How much did he make? Well, the first thing I would do is I got to add those numbers together to know how much he made in total from those houses. So he would be making, or I guess he sold a cumulative $625,000. And he's making 3% of that. And so we need to remember from last unit, anytime I deal with a percentage, I need to take that and divide it by 100. So I would take that. 3 divided by 100 is 0.03. And remember, we're doing, what's 3% of 625,000? So I need to multiply those together. So 625,000 times by 0.03. So Charlie would be making $18,750 per month. All right. Next question. So it says Rand's a sales associate. She makes $15 an hour plus 5% commission on her sales. Last week, she worked 40 hours and sold $1,500 worth of inventory. So what's her gross pay? So she's getting paid her hourly rate, plus her commission. So let's just do the hourly rate first. So she makes $15 an hour and times that by her $40 or her 40 hours worked. So $15 an hour times the 40 hours worked. So just from her hourly wage, she's making $600 Plus, she gets a kind of like a bonus 5% commission on whatever she sells. So she would sell from the $15,000. She gets 5% of that. So I take that $15,000 and times it by 5% as a decimal. So I'll divide that by 100 and I would get 0.05. So 1,500 times 0.05. So 5% of that is 75. So in total, her gross pay last week would be $675. Overtime, this was one of the ones that lots of people struggled with. So let's take a look at it. And so remember, overtime is what you're getting paid, like a wage higher than what you usually get paid. So it says Howie makes $17.50 an hour, and he makes time and a half for his overtime. So what's his overtime rate? So what I would have to do is, well, I know his regular wage is $17.50 an hour, but he gets time and a half. So I would times that by 1.5. So time and a half means 1.5. So $17.50 times 1.5, he would be making $26.25 per hour as his overtime rate. All right. So then this question kind of moves and continues. So last week, Howie worked 44 hours at a regular rate and 8 hours overtime. What did he gross last week? So his regular pay is 44 times his regular rate, which is $17.50, plus his overtime. Well, he worked 8 hours of overtime, and we know that he's making $26.25 for that overtime wage. And so I would just have to type all that in and put it together. So 44 times $17.50 for his regular rate, plus the 8 hours at $26.25 for his overtime rate. And so he would be getting paid $980 last week. Okay, I could have technically also added this step in here and just times it by 8, and I would have got the same answer either way. All right, bonuses. Oops, sorry, too far. All right, so it says Laura works as an Avon consultant and gets 17% of her sales in commission, plus a $50 bonus for every member she signs up to also be a consultant. Last month, Laura sold $550 worth of product and recruited 3 people to be consultants. So how much did she gross? So she's getting commission, plus she's getting these bonuses. So she's getting 17% of $550, so $550, that's her sales. And she's getting 17% of that. Plus her bonuses, she's getting, it says $50 for every person she signs up, and she signed up 3 people. So for her commission here, I would take this $550 times by 0.17, because I need to change the 17 to a percent. And she would be making $93.50 from her sales, plus the amount she makes from bonuses. So she signed up 3 people as consultants, and she got $50 for each of those. So she'd be making $150 from that. And then I'd have to add all of that together. So $243.50. So that's how much she would make. All right, so that was all different types of ways to get paid. The last part of the unit that you've kind of been looking at yourself is on deductions. And so remember, deductions are money that has been removed from your check for whatever reason. And these reasons can vary, right? Maybe I have union dues, maybe I have a pension plan, maybe I put a certain amount into company stocks. Everybody has to pay federal government tax, provincial government tax, CPP, and EI. So usually that works out to somewhere around 30% or more of our checks that are going towards these deductions. So even though my salary says, I get paid $64,000, that's not how much I actually get to take home. So here's the first example I'll look at. Get out of there. So it says, what will your net pay be if you deduct $105.30 for federal tax, $23.76 for provincial tax, $48.61 for CPP, and $14.12 from EI from your paycheck of $982. So I'm just going to take 982 and subtract all of these numbers from it because they are all being removed, right? Unfortunately, they're not adding more money to my paycheck. They are just taking it away to use for whatever government program or whatever they see fit. So I would take my $982 and subtract the federal tax of $105.30, subtract the provincial tax of $23.76. $23.76. Subtract $48.61 to CPP and subtract $14.12 to EI. So this person's net pay would be $790.21, and that would be their net. This right here would be your gross. Okay. A few more deductions. So it says Julianne has an annual salary of $45,785. How much would she have to pay to union dues if her union dues rate is 2.4%? So same kind of thing we were doing last time. We're going to take last unit. So take whatever your salary is or whatever, how much money you make. So $45,785. And I'm really saying like, what's 2.4% of that? So times that by this as a decimal would be 0.024, right? I have to take that 2.4 and divide it by 100. So times that by 0.024. And so I would be, did I do that? No, that's right. You would be paying around $1,098.84 to union dues, which seems like a large amount, but probably right. Next question says, so how much does she have to pay into CPP if her taxable income is $44,686.16? So we're not using the same number because there's probably something else. They probably removed the union dues and they're saying, well, you can only tax this much income. So we would just kind of do another percentage problem. So $44,668.16 and times that by 4.9% as a decimal divided by 100. So 44686.16 and 44688.16, yeah. Times that by 4.95 as a decimal gives me $2,211.96. So that's how much she would have to pay to CPP for the year. Remember, CPP and EI also max out at a certain amount, so you don't pay that the entire year. The last thing that you'll have to do for the test and for the review is be able to like look at a paycheck and either answer questions from it or finish filling it in. So if I look at a few questions here, so this one just says, what is Hank's gross weekly income? So I'm just gonna kind of go through this. Gives me some dates here. Tells me his pay rate and his annual pay rate. Well, it looks like his gross earnings is right here, and he made $575 this week, assuming that this is in a week. Oh, wait, that's actually every 2 weeks. So I'd have to divide that by 2 because this is his paycheck for 2 weeks. So what does he make every week? Well, divide that by 2. And we get $287.50. So that's what he would make in a week. What is his net income? So his net pay is what they're asking me for in this question. Change colors here. So his net pay, they're like, what is that? Well, what I would have to do is take my gross and subtract the total deductions from that. So I would just take the 757 and they actually tell me what the total is. So I'm going to take this and subtract this from it. So $575 subtract $104.73. And so what's this guy's name? Hank's net pay, it would be $470.27. Okay, last question says, what percentage of federal tax, tax income did he pay to federal taxes? So now you kind of have to work backwards. They're saying, like, what is the percentage that this person had to pay? So what I would do, I just want the ink, is I would go tax. So this is the federal, and this is how much he made. So I would want to take that 4801 and divide it by 575. So 4801 divided by 575 gives me 0.083 blah, blah, blah. 0834, I think. But that's not a percentage. I need to take that, and, you know, same thing you do with your test score. Well, you got to take that and times it by 100. So his taxable income percentage, he's paying about 8.34%. Okay, sorry, I know that's a bit longer video for you guys, but hopefully it gives you a good enough review. If you have any comments, either send me a message on Remind or email, or come talk to me with one of the Google chats that are going to be set up this week. Otherwise, good luck with everything. Take care.